Welcome to Compai's Expat Channel. I'm Compai. I am Sisua's voice of reason. Guys, today's May 20th, 2026. Yesterday, May 19th, I put out a video, and in that video, I said this. This is a slam dunk, and I'm surprised it took 6 years to get to this point. And I'm here to tell you there's another bill coming behind this that's going to regulate rentals. This is a step program, and I cannot wait for that next law to get passed. This was in the news. I'm not saying I got a crystal ball and I can predict what's coming, but I have a way of understanding how things work here. But speaking of work, this is my business, Casa de Compai. There's a lot of places to rent in Sisua. If you're looking for peaceful, affordable, and tranquil, look at Casa de Compai, Sisua's hidden gem. When you're ready to reserve at Casa de Compai, my contact information is in the description down below. So guys, let's go back to that headline. Let's just look at it again real quick. All right, what do we got? Dominican government prepares to tax Netflix, Airbnb, and other digital platforms. Guys, this is absolutely huge. Now, I could care less about Netflix. I could care about most of the other digital platforms. But Airbnb, that's everything, because that's obviously my business. And why am I happy to see this? I'm already paying taxes on my income from Airbnb, but my competition ain't. Why do I have to pay taxes? Because I have a Dominican company. That Dominican company has to file taxes every year, and I got to show income. I knew this was coming, and to all my clients who were used to just coming down, calling me up, making a reservation, coming in, paying me cash, and then this year they're like, John, what happened? I can't pay you cash anymore? No, because of the legislations that's coming out, I have to account for every cent going into my bank account. Things are different now down here. That's why those of us who are in tune are getting ahead of the curve. What is this going to do to the real estate market that I was talking about yesterday? What is this going to do? Well, all those real estate agents that are now going to have to be licensed with a cedula and a residency to live here legally, they're not going to be able to say, hey, you'll make tons of money off of Airbnb. Now they got to change their tune. Yes, you're going to have to pay taxes on Airbnb. But we haven't heard how they're going to do it. Is Airbnb going to collect the 18% tax? Or are you going to be required to pay that 18% tax? Is Airbnb going to send the Dominican government how much money you made over that year? Is there going to be some other paperwork that you're going to have to fill out through Airbnb that this country requires? Because trust me, we've already seen how Airbnb will walk away from listings in this country. Is this going to force Airbnb to walk away even more? Don't know. Just throwing things out there. But if you're going to be doing business down here in the Dominican Republic, you're going to have to start paying that 18% tax. Now let's get into the full article. All right. The tax department has a plan to submit within 60 days a proposal to apply the 18% tax, the sales tax, to foreign digital platforms such as Netflix, Airbnb, Facebook, and other services to users in the Dominican Republic. The director says the initiative seeks to ensure all digital services are subject to the same tax obligations as local businesses. I just said the same thing. You know, the people that are not paying taxes straightforward, they have an advantage over me. Not only they're not paying taxes, they're not paying their employees correctly. My employees, I pay their health care, they get vacation, they're 100% legal in this system. And that's how it should be for everybody. So getting back to this, the proposal would impose 18% tax on the transfer of industrialized goods and services on subscriptions, short-term rental services, digital advertising, and other online transactions. Does that include YouTube? Does that include YouTube? Because let's be frank, this video you're watching right now, the first thing you saw within a minute was my advertisement for my business. I'm pretty straightforward in what I do. What about the people that are selling the online courses? Come down and consult for a month. How's that going to affect all the YouTube content creators that are making money digitally off of YouTube, off of Facebook, off of Instagram? It's going to be a game changer. But it's not just Airbnb. When you're talking short-term rental industry, you got VRBO, which is vacation rentals by owner. You got Google. You got bookings. There's like 18 platforms that handle short-term rentals. Are all of them going to be roped into this? Looks like it will be. And guys, this is going to really weed out it's going to separate the wheat from the chaff on this. Because if you got to pay taxes, are you going to be required, are you going to have an RNC number? How do you pay taxes without a tax ID number? I got to check on this. So if any lawyers are watching this, can you create, yes, you can, I'm almost positive you can still create a company without having a cedula and residency. I think you can. But if I'm wrong, please correct me in the comments down below. Because I'm thinking when I did my two companies, I don't think I had my cedula, and I think I used my passport. So now it's everybody who has one rental, maybe two rentals, are they going to go through the process of getting an RNC? Are they going to be willing to start a company here so they can pay taxes? Because there's more cost. So this is really, really going to change the short-term rental market here. The measure, an effort was previously attempted through the decree 2025 in 2025. I kind of remember that. It's ringing a bell, which was later repealed by the government. Artia argued that the foreign digital companies should not be exempt from taxes in the Dominican Republic, and the agency intends to move forward with the collection agreements regardless of whether legislative changes are needed. Guys, now it rings a bell. Because I remember back in 2025, I was excited about this, but they didn't know how to go about implementing it. That was the thing. So if they're willing to do this in 60 days, I can pretty much feel safe to say that they have it worked out. So guys, this is going to be interesting on how things are going to change down here for short-term rentals. What do I think is going to happen? I think it's going to force things the same way, using the real estate agents as an example. You're going to have to get more professional. You're going to have better check-in and check-out procedures. You're going to have better maintenance policy. It's just going to force people to take it to the next level or get out of it. And I think you're going to see a lot of these short-term rentals just go by the wayside. Are they going to end up putting up for sale signs as well? How is this going to affect the overall real estate market? Because I'm telling you right now, when Airbnb took out all those listings that they had on their books a year and a half ago, when they got rid of all those listings, a lot of properties hit the market. So this might have another similar impact, and I think it's good because the Dominican Republic is changing very quickly. And the next thing coming down the line is the digital cedulas, because they're tying in everything to these cedulas. Everything is getting Americanized super, super quick down here. I'm not saying I'm happy about it. I'm just saying you got to know what's in front of you to be able to move effectively down here. The days of doing a cowboy business are coming to an end. So if you're thinking of coming down here, make sure your YouTube content creator who's telling you, just do it, or the real estate agent, you'll be fine. It'll make you money on Airbnb. It's changing down here, guys. you need to do your homework. You need to know who you're getting advice from. And these people who, I say it all the time, haven't been down here long enough to steer you correctly. Guys, that's my 2 cents. Always remember, keep personal private and private personal. Subscribe, hit the like button, keep the good comments coming, and peace out.